Hi, I'm Stephen Ham from Archery Supplies. Today we're going to look at the Fivics 1500 compound stabilizer. Now what's really unusual about this product is Fivics don't make compound bows, but they do make carbon arrows and they do make stabilizers for recurves, and they've also made this stabilizer for compounds, which I'm interested in, so that's why I'm doing a review on it. Now it's 15 layers of carbon in all different directions to make this thing really stiff. The diameter of the stabilizer, it's very thin at, I think it's 15 millimeters. I think that's right. Just check the thing. Now it comes with weights. So this is just like the recurve version, but it's got an extender. So I'm going to sort of just take it out of the case. So this is what it looks like. So you've got two weights at the back here. So you've got a 4, a 2 and a 1, so separate parts. Now you've got the flexible rubber thing. Now down the end here, this part here is an internal dampener. So there's something in here to absorb more shock. Now the bar itself is really stiff. You cannot bend this thing. It's really stiff, and that's what you want for a compound stabilizer. You want it to be nice and thin, and you want it to be stiff. Now why do you want it to be thin? Because if there's wind and you've got a big thick stabilizer, you're going to get blown all around. It's like having a big sail out the front. Now the problem I've got is with this here, if you were to add more weight on like most people do, they want to add a whole bunch of weight to their stabilizer, this is going to become floppy. So what I want to do is I want to have a shot with this stabilizer as it is, and my solution would be, when you want to add more weight to the stabilizer, would be to add it there to down here, so it goes like that. And I think there might even be too much weight on the end here. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out this stabilizer, see how it stacks up to its competitors, because it looks pretty good. Okay, so I've bolted the Fivics stabilizer onto the Super Focus. Now the stabilizer I was running previously was a Shrewd with a whole bunch of weight at the front, so this is going to be too light. But I'm just interested in the vibration of the stabilizer and how it feels to physically shoot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stack a whole heap of weight on it, because the more weight you add to a stabilizer, the more vibration you'll feel, because there's weight, and as that vibration runs down the stabilizer, it comes back and hits you. So if you're only running like 3 ounces down the front end, you're not going to feel anything coming back to hit you. But if you run like 20 ounces or even more, when that vibration goes down there, it comes back as a resonation. So let's have a go and see how this feels. I felt no vibration whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. It's really good. Now with top line stabilizers, there's a whole bunch of people who make top line stabilizers. And you know, you're going to say, well, what's the difference between the Bee Stinger and this, and the Shrewd and this? I mean, it's hard because there's so many manufacturers now of stabilizers. But as far as the vibration, there was nothing. This is nice thin stabilizer. You can see it, the bow pop up afterwards because I've got so much weight down the back end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a whole bunch of weight to this, and as I would say, as Greg would say, I'm going to add 2 house bricks to the front of this stabilizer and see how this stabilizer feels with a whole bunch of weight added to it. So I've now added 30 ounces to the front here of this stabilizer, so there's a chunk of weight at the front. Now at the back I put on a longer rod, because I want to actually reduce the weight on the back and move more weight to the back here to reduce the overall weight of the bow. Because if you run a shorter stabilizer at the back, you need to add more weight to it. If you run longer, less weight to get the same mechanical advantage. Now these stabilizers from Fivics come in 28, 30, 32 inches long. The short rods come in 8, 12 and 15. They have extenders as well. So let's see how 30 ounces on the front goes. Now People are going to make a comment to say you don't need a lot of weight on a stabilizer, and that's absolutely correct. So absolutely correct. I'm just going to say the majority of top archers do shoot a ton of weight. And the reason they shoot a ton of weight is it makes it hard for them to physically move on the target. But you've got to be strong enough to hold it, and your back's got to be strong enough to physically support the weight because it's sitting way out front. So you'll see a lot of the top archers will lean back, and that's purely because their stabilizers are so heavy. So let's see how 30, I'll try and move this in so you can see how much it vibrates. Absolutely dead. Absolutely dead. There's nothing. That is absolutely amazing. Now I've shot a lot of stabilizers, a lot. And generally when you put a whole bunch of weight down there, the thing comes back and vibrates. There was nothing with that. Now I don't know if it's the Fivics dampener at the end causing it or what, but that absolutely had zero vibration coming back. I mean, the balance is a bit, and the mass weight is a bit crazy, but you can even see the, I don't know if you can see on the video, the end of the stabilizer is not even vibrating. It absolutely amazes me. Now I want to know if it's this little doinker, that little rubber thing causing that to be the case, because that's fantastic. So now we're just running all the stainless, and we've got rid of the rubber dampener at the front. Now the purpose of that rubber dampener, if I haven't already mentioned it, when the vibration goes down the stabilizer, the rubber dampener is meant to take the vibration away and stop the vibration coming back to the bow. That's the theory, but then sometimes the end of the rubber it'll sit there and bounce. I didn't feel anything with that. Oh, noticeably different. Could you see the difference? You can see the difference in this sight moved afterwards. I could feel the vibration in the stabilizer afterwards. I mean, it's not bad, but that dampener takes out so much of that shock. We'll just do this again. You can see the vibration, the sight's like boom. When I've got that dampener there, it just takes out so much. And just to prove the point, let's just put that back on. So if anything of this video, you want to add these little dampeners. Little dampeners I think sell for about $15. A whole bunch of companies produce them. Doinker produce them. I think Doinker's fairly expensive. This is Fivics. Fivics produce a whole bunch of different ones. I don't know the difference between them. Win and Win produce them. Cartel produce them. There's a whole bunch of companies who produce them. And the overall thing is rubber on your bow. When you stick rubber on your bow, it absorbs vibration. But that, I have never ever seen a change like that. And unfortunately, the little screw Now, that little rubber thing that you see down the front, whatever you're going to call it, the dampener, is it going to break with time? Probably it will, because it's just a piece of rubber with a thread going into it. So that rubber will probably, the thread will pull out eventually. Like, it's 15 bucks if it's stopping that much vibration. I mean, you go and probably try and claim a warranty with it, but if you keep the weight down on the front, in front of that, you're not going to have a problem. Oh, that is the go. That rubber thing, you can see there's no, I assume you can see there's no vibration in the sight, the bow's quiet. And actually I'm handling the 30 odd ounces at the front actually extremely well. It's this healthy diet I'm on and working out all the time. I joke, but it's true. Like, I'm handling it fine. I don't know how my back would be if I shot it for a period of time with that much weight, but I'm not feeling, it's feeling good. I'd be happy to try that out. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's the Fivics 1500 compound stabilizer. It also comes in a recurve version. I think it looks quite nice. The 1500D. Price point is about 300 Australian dollars. Now, how does that compare on the marketplace for other top-end stabilizers? I think it's actually pretty affordable. People are going to say 300 is expensive. Look, at that price point, there's actually not a lot of top-end stabilizers that are cheaper. I think, well, Doinker's got stabilizers on the $700 mark now. The bee stingers, I think, are up around the 450s. This is me pulling numbers. I think the Shrewd Onyx, which is a fatter stabilizer, which is what I was shooting before, I think that stabilizer is around the 330. The other stabilizer I shoot is dead center, which is the same thickness as this. Nice stabilizer, but it's got a wrap around it. This is just a straight carbon finish. I think that's around the 350s. So I really can't think of a high-end stabilizer cheaper than this, even though it is $300. But I was very impressed. So me being impressed by Fivics continues. Anyway, that's really, really good. Thanks for watching, and give it a try. There wouldn't be many of these probably in America, would be my gut feeling, and I certainly haven't seen them before, which is why I wanted to do this review, to see what it was like, because I read the bits about it and I was like, 15 layers, and it's 3K carbon. That's the stronger carbon. That's the carbon they use on the $1,000 limbs on the recurve. So it's the expensive carbon they've got in here. This more expensive carbon's more rigid and lighter. So very impressed by the Fivics stabilizers. Very impressed. The other one who produces a thin stabilizer, and it's not for a compound, is obviously Shrewd. Has got the Revelation, but that's more for a recurve, and that does not hold up to the massive amounts of weight like that. That is impressive, absolutely impressive. Thanks for watching, have a great day.